This week on Not Another Shooting Show.
Trying to equivalate.
They work great if they're wet.
So you just have to fight dogs and boom, you're great at football.
I'm not going out after we leave this restaurant.
You can go back and equivalate or put into context.
That's the second time you've used a made-up word. I love it.
Shut up.
He's Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson. This is Not Another Shooting Show. We go to a town I can't pronounce in Kenya, where a police officer accidentally shot himself in the leg. This was after his AK-47 rifle accidentally discharged a bullet, hitting him in the left knee. The police had responded to a scene of a burglary, and one suspect was shot dead. But in the kerfuffle of everything happening, that's when this guy smoked himself in the knee with an AK. He was rushed to the hospital with a serious wound. Yeah, I bet. And was admitted in stable condition. Meanwhile, police are investigating an incident where a man was found dead in a house after he had sold 2 sheep. This is just the continuation of the story. Police said Richard Mengwa, 52, was found dead in a house after a suspected murder. The body was found lying on the floor with blood oozing from his mouth. The man's wife was detained pending investigations. The body was moved to the mortuary pending autopsy and investigations. The body was found in a bush. Also, this is a news story. Never mind. So this is like a police blotter from Kenya. Jesus. Okay.
Oh, hell yeah. So, but what you're saying is that guy did not have a good day because one needed one's AK.
Yeah. No. The K does not stand for knee in AK. Owie. Owie, owie, owie. Another newsy news story. This is actually pretty interesting. Sig Sauer won a lawsuit with the P320.
Yeah, go them.
Yay, you're doing it, Sig. Good job. It ended the other day, sort of. However, this is a little different. This lawsuit was not over a gun that just up and went off all by itself. The guy who had sued Sig, his name was John Herman. He had pulled the gun from a holster in February of 2018, and it went off and shot himself. The quote from the judge said, Mr. Herman has identified no circumstantial evidence that establishes a probability of causation. He has not provided evidence that the thing that made contact with his P320 would likely not have squarely depressed a tabbed trigger. And he has not provided evidence free from the preclusive effect of our waiver doctrine that he would likely have engaged a thumb safety. In other words, dum-dum drew gun, press trigger, shot self.
Which is what when these stories first came out, and when, especially when we didn't have video, when it was a bunch of cops getting shot, that's what we all thought. Mm-hmm. Because it's not an uncommon thing to happen.
Yeah.
But yes, there will be incidents within something that aren't the bad thing, but tried to get money because we're a litigious society. But that does not mean the problem is not there.
Yeah. By the way, the judge in this case, the U.S. District Judge, his name is David Russell. He was appointed by Ronald Reagan.
Oh, so Jesus.
He's been on the bench for a hot minute. The argument that Herman was making was based on the validity of expert witnesses who say Herman wouldn't have shot himself if the gun in question had a safety feature.
Yep, but that's not a manufacturer default. That's a procurement problem. How dare you not sell me a motorcycle with airbags and then I just went through the windshield and that is your fault. And you're like,
A motorcycle with airbags. Oh my God.
That would be hilarious.
Oh, it's just the thing you hit before you hit the pavement.
Right. It would just be another level of lawn darting.
Oh God. So hey, good for you, Sig. You won a lawsuit. But it was one that probably should not hit. I wish there could be like a board of non-dumbassery when it comes to, like, what happened? Well, I drew my gun and it just went off. Oh, so you drew the gun and then it just went off. Not you were just, getting out of the car with your hands on the door and the steering wheel and it just went off. Okay, these are two different things. The likelihood that it just went off, that means you pressed the trigger is what we all know that means.
Yep.
So, but hey, his lawyer got paid. So, or if the lawyer actually thought he was going to win this lawsuit and took it, as a personal injury case where it's like, hey, we don't get paid if you don't win any money.
Right.
That's a dumb fucking lawyer. I'm just going to say right now. Okay. Well, when this comes out, it'll have been a week and 3 days since the Cornhusker Classic happened.
Yes.
We had all those interviews in the can from the match, and both Jeff and I were like, I was tired. Don't want to.
It was a long weekend.
I was destroyed even on Monday. I was so tired Monday night after I got off work. It was like I was not in the mood to record. It wouldn't have been good. We had plenty to talk about, but it just wouldn't have been worth a shit. And and also, since we hadn't actually recorded a regular episode in basically 2 weeks, like I was all like, hey, I get to record a podcast tonight. Like I was all fired up. Like, yeah, hell yeah, let's do this. Okay. Cornhusker Classic, way back aftermath. Let's start off with the most entertaining story from Cornhusker.
No. Well, which one? Well,
there's a couple very entertaining. I was thinking of Mr. 6'7" in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shirt.
Yes.
At least it was entertaining for me.
Right. It was entertaining for everybody else.
It was entertaining for everyone except Jeff.
Correct. So we did have our little gathering at the local bar, and
great joint. That pizza was as good a pizza as I've ever had in my life, by the way.
Right. And the little upstairs drink cocktail bar is
awesome.
Speakeasy. That was super fun, and the company we had was super fun. The Dakota Boys and Hannah and a few others. Mm-hmm. Like it was a good time. So we were sitting out on the back patio, and there was a larger dude who like said something, and I don't know if I stood up or if I like.
At first, he asked us to move over because there were some other people that wanted to sit out there. We were kind of spread out, eating up like all the tables.
Right.
It's not very big, and there was 5 of us sitting there.
Yeah, there.
You, me, Tom, Brent, and Bruce.
Yeah, something like that. And there was like 3 or 4 tables, and we had basically one person at each of them. And so we were like, oh yeah, no, we will condense. And I want to say that like I went in to get a drink, or I went in to go to the bathroom. For some reason I stood up, or for some reason this guy engaged with me and like recognized that I was big. And so when this happens, I kind of have a canned response because it's happened before. And I got very friendly because it's like, oh, another tall person, ha ha ha. Like,
well, and we skipped over. This guy was also rather big. He was like 6'7". He tried to say he wasn't fat, but dude is fat as fuck.
Yeah, he was probably 350.
Yeah,
at least,
and not muscular at all.
Right. And so he makes some comments about me being tall. So I'm like, oh, haha, yeah, blah blah blah. So I like give him like a bro hug, and then I'm expecting like him to go back to whatever conversation he's having, and I can sit down.
No, Jeff met his soulmate.
Yes, this dude. I got into the Midwestern loop of the yep, gotcha, okay, yep, gotcha, okay, yep, gotcha, okay, and for USPSA listeners, it was every fucking conversation you've ever had with a rando that is like, oh, you're into guns, I'm into guns, or my friend's into guns, and you're like, we are better than you.
Yeah,
like you are not on our level. Stop trying.
Your friend isn't either.
Right. And so he was trying to do this. And he was talking about, like 44 magnums and blah, 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 and we're just like, oh yeah, okay, cool, dude. Yeah. Blah,
I've shot
blah.
like 6 rounds of that cartridge.
Right. And it was like, luckily I did get him to more focus on me and not the whole group. But like,
we appreciated that.
I bet he talked to me for like 30 minutes.
It was at least, yeah. And then the best part was his 6'1" sister came out.
Yep.
And just sat at our table, which was actually kind of funny because she was completely irritated with him.
Yep.
It was pretty hilarious.
Right. Well, and he owns a crochet business, apparently. Like
he does?
Yeah, that's what he does. Is he like crochets shit? And I was like, okay,
that kind of tracks with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle t-shirt he was wearing.
Yeah, he said he was in like Air Force Intel, but like,
no way.
Things he said didn't line up. Because then he's like, man, like, because I was like, oh, well, maybe you should come to my gym because I've got like 4 dudes over 6'5".
Air Force Intel means he lives like 10 miles from Offutt. That's what that means.
Right. But like, he was like, yeah, I don't know, like, because I've actually had to like kill someone before. I'm like,
oh God.
I'm like, you're Air Force Intel, homie. Like, you sat in a bunker in the green zone or in the middle of not somewhere under direct threat and looked at a computer screen or drone feeds for your entire tour. Like, fuck off.
Well, I mean, if he like by remote control did it, maybe.
Right.
I suppose. But
yeah,
I don't even really believe that with this guy.
Nope. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shirt, definitely. Because, yeah, his sister, her body language was like,
this is the most embarrassing moment of my life, was basically her body language.
Right. She's like, oh, the person I'm normally having to take care of is distracted by something. I'm just going to sit here and just wait for him to exhaust himself. So, yeah, that was slightly annoying, but also fun.
What else was entertaining?
I threw you.
Oh, yeah, you threw me. Video is on our Reddit, reddit.com/NAS or r/NASS. I'm going to give it, I want to tell the story of arriving at Jeff's gym because we get to Jeff's gym and we're waiting for Bruce to come and he's going to do the video. So we end up waiting for, I don't know, half hour or so before Bruce finally got there. And Jeff was, immediately just walks onto the mat and is going to go kick and punch stuff. And I start walking out there and Jeff's like, shoes off, shoes off, shoes off. I'm like, oh, sorry, it's not winter. I'm not in that habit. And so he goes over and we're just chatting. And Jeff throws a punch at the bag and it rattles the whole fucking rack like chains. And I'm like, so like, I've never been taught how to throw a punch. How do you throw a punch? And so Jeff kind of gives me the basics of throwing a punch. And so then I throw a punch. And like I gave it my best shot and it just sort of went thud. And it was so disheartening. Like it was so discouraging. Like I'm never doing this. This is terrible. I can't even like make the chain go clink. It was so sad. I was so but I also had to then I look over at my friend and go, oh, yeah, he's a fucking monster. I forgot. Okay, that's why. He knows how to punch, and he's enormous.
Who's been doing it for, like, almost 15 years.
Like, the technique is good, and he's super strong. So, like, I took that in mind. And when we were telling the guys on the patio or at the Speakeasy out on the patio, and I said, what? And I said to Bruce to, like, sort of color what it was like for everybody else sitting there, I said, Bruce, wasn't it kind of terrifying watching Jeff punch and kick bags? And Bruce's eyes lit up like someone shoved an electric cattle prod up his ass. He was just like, dude. Every bag on the rack vibrated when he was punching these things. Like, it was kind of terrifying. And it was like seeing you in your element there. It was like, holy shit, fuck me. Okay, so now I have to sit on Jeff's chest and do this. And I even wore blue jeans so I wouldn't have my balls like directly on your chest. Like you wouldn't feel lefty and righty sitting there.
If you're doing BJJ, nothing's gay. Like,
yeah, right. And that's kind of that's what Jeff was doing. I was just sitting on his chest. And so I just sat there and I'm like, I don't even know how to do this because I'm not actually trying to hurt him or anything or trying to hold him down. So I just sort of like, my hands were on the mat on either side of Jeff's head. And so I'm just like basically dead weighting as much as I can. And then all of a sudden I was weightless and was flying off to the side. And I was no longer on top of Jeff. And it happened really quickly.
as large humans, it's very weird to be weightless because it hasn't probably happened since, you were a very, very young child.
No, the last time it happened was when I played football at Black Hill State, and I got blindsided by the guy I burned off the line. Like, I swam a guy, was right on the quarterback, and the quarterback got flushed, and I'm fat and slow, so I'm just making it look good for the cameras. And then all of a sudden, I see green helmet, white jersey in the corner of my eye, and I'm like, this is going to fucking hurt. And boom! And I was launched. I was helicoptering in the air. I saw the video. It was fucking amazing. Like, nicest guy on the team, too, that smoked me. Anyway, so Jeff sends me flying, and then he's, like, sort of demonstrating how he did it again. I'm like, wait a minute. He's laying back on the mat again, and I'm like, I want to try again. Because now I have a strategy in my head, because now I kind of know what it's like. Yep. So I'm sitting on Jeff's chest again, and Jeff tries to launch me, and I just didn't try to fight it at all. I just sort of like if you've ever ridden a mechanical bull at a bar somewhere, that's basically what I was doing. I was just trying to ride the wave. Yep. And Jeff's face immediately changed like, oh, that's how you're going to play it. Okay.
The first one, I will give it to Andy. He did keep his weight down, and I was not in the position I should have been to move the weight that was now on me, and so I had to readjust. And then he went
and
for another ride.
And it didn't take long for him to readjust because he fucking launched me harder than the first time. Like, whoa! Like, I rolled after I hit the mat. It was, goddamn. It was funny. But, yeah. No, I figured you'd be able to do it. I just didn't think you'd be so efficient. That's all.
Yeah. Right. It's so hard to explain to people. It's kind of like how being like a high C class, low B class shooter in USPSA, you're like, I kind of fucking suck at this sport. But to like people who don't do it, you're like, you are a god of what you do. And it's like, oh yeah, I've only been trying to like move human beings for 15 years.
Yeah.
Like I've kind of got a little experience at it.
And now this, what you just said really brings me to the next part of Cornhusker is how I shot like shit.
Yeah.
So if you don't practice much and you just study before the test, but you remember what it's like to be better than you are right now. I don't want to say good. Like, I've never been a GM. I'm not a GM. I don't shoot like a GM. I'm capable of shooting very accurately, and I'm capable of shooting very fast. I am currently not capable of doing both well at the same time. Like, not at all. Not at all. And that comes from not having as much practice. I don't teach as often as I used to, and that's where a lot of my practice came from. When I just get in a quick practice after a class, or just the shooting I do in a class was actual training. And I don't do it. So I had lots of things go poorly. And then there would be stages. God, it's been long enough now, I don't even really remember. The biggest thing that was sort of irritating was when I shot a stage well, like it went the way it was supposed to, and then they're scoring the targets, and I'd look over and see them looking really hard at the target. I'm like, fuck. And then, yep, it's Alpha Mike. And like the stages I shot well, I had like the stage I ran, the retreat stage, I'm pretty sure watching the video was a 3 per stage. I'm still moving a lot on the first shot, and I'm pretty stable on the second 2 shots, or the second and third shot, and I'm pretty sure that first one went off before the gun got to the target, you know?
Yep.
A lot of that kind of stuff. And then sometimes I'm just like, you're not that slow. Why are you so slow? Like, I had a really good time on that retreat stage, but then on the stage with the wall right down the middle, part of that was a whole lot of missing, though, like missing on poppers. Oh, God. Hit it the first time. It's always faster, even if it takes longer. Yep. I'm just so impatient shooting, too. It's just, it's frustrating.
Right, and that's the hardest part is that there's a little thing inside of the back of your brain. It's like, you need to go faster, you need to go faster, you need to go faster. And you're like, what true experience is in this sport is being able to say, nope, you're going as fast as you can, or you're going as fast as you need to go. Because sometimes you're like, man, that was slow. And they're like, that was the second fastest time of the day.
Uh-huh.
And you're like, what? And they're like, yeah. And you're like, I felt slow. And they're like, okay, well, you weren't, so fuck it.
Yeah.
It can be very disheartening because I definitely finished several stages where I was like, man, that was slow. And then these were towards the end of the day, unfortunately, but they were like, no, that was a fine time. Like it was well within reason. So.
Mm-hmm. And for me, it's just very out of practice. And I'm trying to shoot like I know I have been able to shoot in the past, but
right.
I'm not there right now.
Right. And like you said, studying for the test and also like, okay, now our F1 excuses start. Like ROing for me, ROing the entire day definitely didn't help me as much as I think it exhausted me. But on top of that, you know, we had to be planning our social events. We had to be getting, you know, the recording stuff, make sure that da. So it's like we weren't just focused on the match.
Yeah.
Like there was other pieces that we had to like put together, and every piece you add to it just adds a little complexity that your mind's going, did I pack that cord? Did I put that?
Yeah.
Did I change that battery? Da. And like, or it's just one more thing that you're not putting energy towards. Like, oh, this stage is strong hand only. Thank you again, Tristan.
Yeah.
Like, he probably saved about 50 people's match when he posted that video.
Yeah. Why is he shooting with one hand?
Oh.
Why is Tristan shooting with one hand? He never shoots with one hand on Instagram. Wait a minute. Oh.
Check. Not legit. We can talk about that one.
Okay.
But for me, I also shot like shit. But I have my F1 excuses. So Brucey showed up on Thursday and he's like, you want to grab a drink? I'm like, sure. Thinking we'll have a couple drinks and then we'll go home. 1:30 a.m. rolls around. I'm like, fuck. So next day.
They went hard enough that when I got there Friday night, Bruce was more like, I'm not going out after we leave this restaurant.
Correct.
Like, it was like, oh, you guys did go hard the night before. Your wife's not in town and you're going back to your hotel? Okay, I understand.
Yeah, because it was at that bar. we'd sat at that same table the night before.
Oh,
till 1:45 in the morning or something like that.
Nice.
And so, you know, everyone went home after that one. I think I went to bed at like 1 or whatever. Ran the timer the entire day. Then we sat out, giving some pointer or doing the recordings and rewalking the stages or whatever. And then we had the shit show at the with the 6'7" guy.
Yeah.
And then Brucey and Brent they were leaving the next morning. So I was like, hey, let's grab one more, like by where you guys are staying and by my apartment. So that led to another 1 a.m. night. I'm like, I'm retarded.
Yeah.
That's what I am.
Yeah.
But considering all of that, I never felt like I could get it into gear. Like everything just felt slow. And I did have one massive fuck up stage.
Which one?
4. So
4
unloaded table start.
I almost DQ'd on that stage.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah, because you jammed your hand out for the gun? Was that what happened?
I was trying to be kind of funny because it was just wrists above shoulders. So I was like, I'm going to hold my hand directly over the gun because my wrist is still above shoulder, you know, and then my mag hand because you had to unload a start. And I go down and I start moving. And like it was fine, but I was also moving. So my hand came down on basically my middle finger and ring finger came down just above the magwell. And so I was like, derp, 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 and like I could hear everybody gasp behind me, like, oh. Now, I mean, had I actually dropped it, it was unloaded, so that was sort of the good thing.
Right.
But still, that would my first DQ was me being a dumbass almost. Anyway,
I mean, yeah, but I shot it like left, forward, and back, and I just double engaged the target. Oh, and the only way I can describe it is that like my brain kind of went blank, and even people in the back, like when I turned around to run to the back position, they're like, yeah, you didn't look like you were all there. I was like, okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one who was feeling that.
Windows is 30% updated.
Yes.
Windows
yes.
is 33% updated. Time for a restart.
That was exactly how I felt. And luckily, after lunch, things got a little better. The short courses I did okay on. But like, which I had a weird problem with Practice Core Competitor, but once I got it somewhat fixed, if I wouldn't have fucked that part up and not smoked a no shoot and thrown a mic, I would have still shot at like 88%. And I'm like, okay, for feeling like shit and going way too hard, that's not a bad place to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so, again, for those people who are out there like, man, I shot like fucking garbage, put it in perspective. It literally, if two of my shots, if one shot was a quarter of an inch higher and the other shot was an inch to the left, boom, and I wouldn't have forgot to target, boom, I'm 88% of national level people. Like, okay, cool, life is fine. But I did learn that one day of drinking is a performance enhancing drug.
2 days is not.
2 days is not. 3 days is definitely not. And
Performance diminishing.
Yes, performance diminishing drugs. It did the optimal match, in my opinion, at this point is what you do is you run a 2-day normal match, and then the ROs shoot on Friday. So it's just 2 one-day matches, kind of like what Timmy ran up at Forest Lake, I believe. And you RO the ROs on Friday, and then the people who RO the ROs get a rest on Saturday and then shoot on Sunday. That would be the true optimal if people cared about that.
If you cared enough to like spend a day there not doing anything.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing I would sort of want to do.
Well,
anyway.
It goes back to the idea of like when, in my opinion, when you're putting on a major match at your home club, you're hosting a party. You're hosting an event.
Yes.
You're not there to have fun. Like that is
you can like, have fun, but you're the host.
You're the host.
Yeah.
And so if you walk into it like that, you go, oh, okay. Yeah, I should be there every day. I should be helping. I should be doing all this stuff. Like my match performance isn't super important. Just like for those of you who've gone to Iowa section, the Iowa section boys, every stage is manned by every one of their main shooters. Like they have a very strong club culture. So
well, and like besides Vince and Keith, was I the only non-Omaha person working the match?
Yes.
Okay.
That was one of the things we may have to fix in the future, because I don't know that our club is getting enough new people that also want to shoot majors kind of thing. But
like the new people don't care about the majors?
Correct. Like we had several ROs that were steel challenge shooters primarily. Yeah. And you're like, I thank them for all their help. But as a USPSA club, we should not have to rely on, if we're going to pull people from other places, it should be other USPSA shooters from other clubs. Like I know that he turned down help from a few people from other clubs that I disagree with. Yeah. And that's when I disagreed with, but he was a match director and he learned.
Is that why Steven is a bitch?
Well, Steven's a bitch for a lot of reasons, because he shot like a motherfucker.
Well, we'll talk about why Steven is a bitch and why Nick is now our punching bag after I tell you patreon.com/notanothershootingshow. It's only $3.57 a month. You get the entire second episode every single week. We had several people sign up after Cornhusker. Thank you, all of you folks. Let's see. Our Reddit, I mentioned that. What are we up to, Jeff? It's dumb. I can't believe we have the number of people we do. 287, yeah. Reddit.com/r/NASS. Ray Fufu he said, where's the legendary photo of Andy? I don't know how you missed it on Instagram or anywhere else, but I commented, it's there. Or where's the legendary, I want to see Andy Zilla. I do kind of have this like Godzilla short arms thing going on in that picture. I also won most photogenic at the match, which also means I'm sitting here with naked Lane Grease, a photo it's the traveling trophy for most photogenic. I don't know who won it last year, but I guess it's been going around. So I'll have to bring it back next year. So whoever gets most photogenic gets that.
No. So I don't know that
No, Tanfo Timmy got it last year, and he brought it back.
No, Brandon Ziegler got it 2 years ago. I don't know how Timmy got it. I'm not 100% sure. I was thinking it should go to Area 3 and get handed down to Area 3, and it should just go to every major match in the Midwest.
It's a picture of Lane. Is he actually naked?
No. So
okay, but it looks like he's naked with a pillow over his junk, sitting on a couch at an Airbnb somewhere.
Yeah. So he was staying in the hotel with me and Nolan. And, he came out of the shower in his drawers and sat down on the couch and put the pillow over him. And as me and Nolan were walking out to like go to the Walmart or something, Nolan was like, 1 second, took that picture and then framed it and brought it to Cornhusker that year.
God, that's funny. Let's see. Area 3 registration. There's like 80 some slots left. So if you're interested in going, time is ticking. If you want to get in there, Free State Championship, August 30th. The Iowa Cops match is July 27th in Ankeny, Iowa. Oh, and MW Activewear, the finest jerseys you can get for your match. I meant to ask Michelle for a hat, and I forgot to. I would like a hat.
I'm sure we can get that correct.
Okay. All right. Back to the match. Why is Steven a bitch?
Because Steven shot, let's see, 12 mics, 2 procedurals, and 10 deltas.
Uh-huh. Oh, I don't have my buttons. The card is not in the recorder. I don't have a backup recording, Jeff.
Oh, damn it.
It's even in the rundown.
Right.
The SD card.
Thing.
The SD card is still in the card reader. It's not even in the box to record. Like the box I recorded at Cornhusker, it's not even there.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So no buttons, no music. I'm going to fix that, though. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, so Nick beat Steven by 4%. So it sounds like Nick needs to be our punching bag because he's the real competition. Not that Steven shot the match 2 seconds faster than Lane or anything, but
oh my,
fuck that noise. Nick is now our Nick O'Connell, first time guest.
I also noticed Nick's getting a little fat. Like,
damn.
Like, well, you said he's our new punching bag, so I'm just piling
this is
on.
True. This is true.
But I mean, no, he's looking a little more like me than he used to, I would say.
He's working 60-hour weeks and not getting the jujitsus in.
Oh, okay.
And it exists on nothing but monsters and gas station food.
I 100% understand. I put on weight when I started my job at the DOT because I work so much, and then when you get off work, a job like that, you don't really want to go work out.
Correct.
And it's really, really hard. It sucks. But anyway,
especially on like the days that are coming that we are now living in, the 95-degree days.
Yeah. Oh, God.
People like Nick and Owen and all y'all that do construction or any type of outdoor or unair conditioned work, you the real motherfuckers. Because
that's only some days for me. It's most days I'm in and out of a truck. Like I'm in and out of air conditioning. It's not that bad. I'm not drinking more than I'm pissing in a day like those guys are. Like, no, that's way harder. I've been there, done that. It's not that much fun. But the work can be. Anyway, yeah, so Steven, like I get there on Friday. Me and Bruce get to the range. We start walking stages. Jeff met us shortly after. And we get to the stage I'm running, stage 3. And I see there's a blue painted steel start stick, and it's way down range. And I tried to send a picture of it to Steven, but the signal sucks at your range down in that gravel pit. So
Correct.
The only thing that came through was a text message that said, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And because I'm sitting there like, how am I going to run around this wall, RO the shooter? This is going to be a dumpster fire. As it turned out, I was completely wrong. It was not that hard to RO. It was the retreat stage where almost everybody went forward, middle shooting area, back shooting box.
Because that was the most logical plan.
It really was. There was one guy on my squad who went forward or not on my squad, but on main match day. One guy shot the first part and then went all the way to the back and then went forward for the middle.
I had a few on my RO
on
day
staff
squad.
day.
Yeah, that did that shit because D-class shooters come up with weird plans. And they can fuck with your head. So those of you that RO the ROs, sometimes D-class shooters will fuck with your head more than you. I was like, oh, Lane doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, this won't mess with my head. And watching them do shit like that, I'm like, fuck.
Why does it mess with your head? Like, how weak-minded are you that a D-class shooter can play mind games with you?
Well, it's when you watch someone run the plan you're going to run and they do it so fucking poorly that it makes you start questioning, is that a good plan? That's kind of where, like Bay 5 especially, because that one, I stopped recording failed to shoot at procedurals because I couldn't remember if in the random order that they shot that stage in, if they shot at it. But, by the third target you've got to with no bullet holes on it, you're like, yeah, we're just going to call this 2 Mike because we've zeroed this out at this point.
Yeah, a zero's a zero. It's fine. That stage wasn't really that hard. It's
just a lot of long shots and it was kind of positional.
It's a very noisy stage. Very cluttered,
Yes.
very noisy. There's a lot of shit out there and not a lot of walls in front of you. That's the weird part. Like, there's a lot of stuff available from all over the place, and you have to pick your spots where you're going to get the stuff. And I've always had the system of I'm going to go to the spots, and there's a number of targets in each spot, and I'm going to memorize the combination. Yep. And for me, it was 3, 4, 4, 4, 3. Like 3 4s. And a 3. So it was like sequential, like the same. And I did like one little bit of a hiccup, kind of, because there were 2 targets that you could shoot from both spots, but it was like, no, I'm going to keep this. It's already how it's in my head. It's how I'm going to stay. And it was just where you get tempted to shoot a target that's right in front of you. I had one little hiccup like that. And then I overran the position because that's the stage where Michelle was taking the photos. And I had my goofy pose in my stage plan, like I planned it, but I didn't account for you're going to be taking steps while you're posing and you're going to overrun that position and fall out and have to step back in.
Right.
And then I was just being silly because my match was terrible. It was our last stage of the day. And so I finally get back in. I could not hit that popper to save my life. I think I sent 5 rounds at it. And then I decided I am going to empty my gun on the last target. And it wasn't in rage. It was just for fun. And then I shot 9 rounds at the last target. And my gun is locked open. And the RO says, if you're finished, unload and show clear. And I turned sideways with the muzzle pointed straight down range. And I bowed with the gun in my hand out so they could perfectly examine it. And whoever was recording me shut off the video. It was so fun, and I got like a standing ovation. Like it was all in fun.
Yep.
Unfortunately, and Michelle didn't have any photos of it either. But
oh no.
Anyway,
and that's what sometimes when shit's gone south, you just got to have fun.
Yeah, and I had a ball.
Right.
Because for about 2 minutes, I was really irritated after the third mic. Then I was like, God damn it, just some fucking
right.
Fuck.
And then you just tell yourself, fuck it, we doing it live.
Yeah.
And
we're just having fun now.
So to end all the positive things, thank you for everyone that did come and talk to us. Do we have 6 interviews?
Oh, no, it was more than that. I don't know.
We had a lot of interviews, and a lot of people stopped by and talked to us individually and thanked us for doing the show and all that stuff. So we really do appreciate it. Even if my awkward ass, you're like, is this motherfucker like, and I'm like, I'm just really fucking awkward. No, it was super fun getting to see people and talk to people and hang out with everyone. So
yeah, Josh Urban made me late because I hadn't really seen him all weekend, and said hi. We started talking about bourbon, and then it turned into a long conversation. Apparently, I didn't realize that there are different poses of horses on a bottle of Blanton's, and
What?
I threw, yeah. And if you get them all, they spell Blanton's. There's a letter on it. It's a whole thing, and I didn't know that was a thing, and I had thrown 2 bottles away afterwards.
Oopsies.
Like, yeah, it was a whole thing. But I ended up, shooting the shit with him for another half hour or so, and it caused me to be late getting home. Oh, speaking of getting home, another thing that made me late was I was pulling the Area 3 trailer back. Like, this was Sherwin's trailer back in the day. And then it went to Hopkins, and then it went to Scott, and it had been in Ankeny for 2 years. And after Iowa 2 years ago, he gave me a couple of props. He gave Bruce's dad a couple of props. He was there and, just to like distributing the stuff. And so the stuff is just getting donated to Bruce's club, but someone's got to haul it. And Earl Hill from the Des Moines area, he hauled it. He just was visiting his mom, so he towed the trailer to your club, and then I had to tow it to Sioux Falls. And let's just say a Chevy Silverado 1500, not enough truck to pull that trailer.
Oops.
It's a pretty big trailer and a good-sized toy hauler. Like, you could definitely haul a car in it, I think. And it's full of stuff. And the reason I want to tell this story is because when I do dumb shit, I like to tell people about it because it's funny. I'm driving back, and I was just going to wait until I was down the roadaways before I filled up with gas. Well, getting down the roadaways doesn't go as far when you're getting 6 miles a gallon, driving into all of a sudden the wind came up like at the end of the match, and I'm bucking like a northwest wind of like 25 miles an hour. So I'm getting like 6 miles a gallon, and it's just ticking down. I'm like, oh, shit, I got to stop. Okay. And I'm coming up on Ottawa, Iowa, and I know there's gas stations at Ottawa because I've made the trip so many times. But if you're coming from the south, all you see is a bunch of trees and stuff. And I'm like, I thought there were gas stations here. There's no blue sign with like gas that way and X number of miles. So I'm like, oh, okay. And then after I've passed the exit, I look over and there's all the fucking gas stations and the DQ and son of a bitch. And so then I grab my phone and I'm like looking, where's the nearest gas station? I'm also looking like, is there a crossover I can turn around at illegally? But I need to turn around and get gas because I'm getting down there.
Yep.
And by the time I finally limped it into a gas station, it was like going ding, ding, ding every couple of minutes. And it no longer was giving me the mileage to the range. It was just low, low, low. And I did not have to. I did have a gas can in my truck if I had ran out, but I made it. It was fine. But
yeah,
been a long time since that happened to me. Okay.
So
what?
a few little things, kind of funny things for match directors to think about. The over-reliance on technology. No one's going to read your fucking matchbook or your emails.
No,
I guarantee it.
No, they're not. But fuck that. It is so annoying. It's so fucking annoying when people are emailing the match director. What time does the range close on Saturday for walkthroughs? It got to the point at Great Plains last year that I just started replying, I can't remember what I put in the matchbook.
Yep.
Oh, I'll check there. What squad am I on? Okay, if you don't know how to figure out what squad you are on Practice Score by now, that's on you. Although I will say on match day, some matches, I don't know how they do it. Like, it disappears from your upcoming matches, and then you can't find it.
Correct. Practice Score.
It's so weird and fickle.
Yeah, it does very strange things. But yeah, there were certain little hiccups. Like we try to do like an automated check-in system, but like it didn't go through properly, and so like
I didn't even participate.
Right. I was in the shed while they're like, man, who's this Bruce and Brent guy? And I was like, oh, they're here. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, they're here. I saw them in the parking lot.
Okay.
And they're like,
the whole check-in procedure is so ridiculously overdone. Here's how we do check-in at Great Plains. Go to your stage in the morning. Done.
Right.
Like, when they do roll call at your stage, like, we have them, okay, you're here and you're shooting CO, master, member number. I don't know if everybody did that, but that's what they were supposed to do.
Right.
And then if something's wrong, then Josh changed it.
Yeah.
And then as long as it's in the master, it's in the master. And then, now, is it easier to have it synced back to everybody? Yes, of course it is. But is it necessary? No. I'm sure there's some practice score dork who, and I'm not even talking about the people who are developing on it or whatever, like somebody who knows how to make toast is going to send me a text or an email and say, like, well, actually, I don't care. It is not worth the time and trouble to go through this whole fucking check-in procedure. It's just not. There are so many more important things to do running a match, like check in at your stage. If people's shit is wrong, deal with it later. Like, you can always change it later. If they're in the wrong division or they've got major instead of minor, like, that's not a big deal. Like, fix it later.
Yep.
It's this whole big thing. Now, if you're handing stuff out or there's some other reason to have people do a check-in, cool. But every time I went to a match and everybody's all wound up about, like, make sure you check in. You got to check in before the time and the thing. There'll be a check-in before 6 to 14 a.m. tomorrow morning on main match day. But you got to check in before that.
Yep.
And if I don't, I bet I'm still on my squad exactly how I registered.
Yep. Yeah. I've yet to have a match turn me away. It's like, oh, I paid my $100. One of the things that also happened is our club has several people who've been doing this sport for longer than some of our club members have been alive. and for a few of them, like, they're just institutionally, like, they know that they are working. Like, what happened was we had a guy who's been running matches, who's been like a RO for majors for like 20 years. And he showed up on match day and was like, all right, what stage am I on? And Steven's like, oh, well, you didn't respond to the email. He's like, oh, I don't do email. So I don't know where am I at? He's like, well, you're going over here. And it worked out, but it was just one of those, like, the unfortunate thing about the progression of technology is that not everyone's going to tag along. And you have to remember that, especially within the shooting world, we have a very old population and a very kind of tech averse population. And so we do a lot of things because we have to accommodate those people, but they're also the backbone of your clubs. So you kind of have to.
Yeah.
So don't think that you can just be like, hey, we're just going to automate all this and everything's going to be blah, blah, blah. It's like some boomer is going to walk up and be like, so I don't have an email address.
Message me who that was. I'm dying to know who that was.
Okay.
Because I thought I knew who it was, but then I saw they were actually in the staff assignment. I went back and looked at the staff assignment email, and they were in there. So.
Yeah, and so it's just one of those.
That's who it was. Okay.
Yeah, and so it's just one of those little things that you're just like.
That's 100%.
Right. There are these dudes who have, like, you put them in charge of a stage, you'll never have to think about that stage ever again. Like, they got it, but they don't have a cell phone. And they're like, I don't do none of that electronic bullshit. And you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that was a fun one. I learned that open emitters can negatively impact your score. So our match was
Poppycock. I don't believe you.
Right. Our match was like weirdly rainy, but weirdly not rainy. So
it was
bagged the targets for like 15 seconds.
It was the most rain that was tolerable at a match, which there were waterproof targets, and Steven made me go out of my way to go get an extra couple of cases of waterproof targets that never left the back of my pickup on the way down. But yeah, we did bag targets. My stage, we never shot bag targets on my stage, though. We just bagged them because we had a lull. We had the Ghost Squad was going by us at that time. And so by the time they showed up, it was like barely drizzling. We just pulled them all. We did have that 145 target that was catching a lot of water. That one was getting problematic. But Yeah.
It for match directors, in my opinion, just for majors use waterproof targets. Even if we're not,
only waterproof targets. Why don't you use regular ones if it's not raining? Because we only use, I'm going to use old man logic. We use waterproof targets because we use waterproof targets at majors. Period. End of story. We're not fucking around with it.
And the waterproof pasters.
And here's the thing. Have them on hand. Waterproof pasters they work okay when it's warm. They don't work well in the cold at all.
Right.
They're pretty terrible in the cold. But they work great if they're wet.
Did we decide if the not the blackout pasters, do they work with waterproof targets?
They do. I was testing. They work better than regular,
but not as good
pasters.
As the
it still wasn't as good as the waterproof ones because the waterproof ones are like a stamp.
Gotcha.
Like a licked stamp is what the waterproof, the double alpha waterproof pasters. Yep. It's like if they're not sticking, if you lick it, it will stick like crazy. It works great. So like if it's actually wet, they do work great unless you're pasting pasters.
Yeah, that
like because we had a target that was that 45-degree target. It was very close, and it was getting like there was no cardboard left. It was just pasters, and then it was not. It was a little bit of a problem, but yeah.
Yeah, but I had a little bit of an incident on base 7. I came into a target with a no-shoot on it, and a raindrop landed directly on my emitter. And I was like, fuck. And so it like completely washed out the dot. And so I pulled the trigger and saw the white paster move. And I was like, fuck. And so, or the no-shoot line move. And so I fired 2 more at it. And then the water apparently disappeared. And then I was able to do the rest of it.
So the fix for a wet emitter is shoot the gun?
Correct. That was
okay.
What I figured out.
So for competition, it doesn't really make sense to use a closed emitter dot.
Right. It would be better to have shower caps. Oh, that's something that you should do is sell shower caps at Area 3.
Or the bonnets.
Right.
I saw a dude running around with a bonnet on his gun. I'm like, that's genius.
Yep. Just go buy like the dollar store versions of them, sell them for like $5. I guarantee you that if it rains, someone will be like, fuck, I'll buy one.
You know
of
what, though?
Now.
Those things are so cheap. Because I did buy like a 10-pack of them or whatever, and it was like $2. Like it would.
Oh, shit.
I don't remember how cheap they were. They were really. I just remember them being really cheap. If we buy them, we just have them and hand them to anybody who wants one. I was just using my gun rug. I would just go to the safe table and do it.
Yeah.
You know, there'll be safe tables all over the place at Area 3. So I mean, you've always got that option. But my gun rug can get saturated at some point. I can't believe I didn't think of this. For the second out of 4 years working Cornhusker, I DQ'd somebody.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I didn't like it. So I'll just explain the call I made. I was on the tablet at the time. I was not on the timer. And dude is coming into the far most uprange spot, the little shooting box at the back of the retreat. And I'm off to the left. And I'm watching him come in. And I'm just watching the guy come in. And a lot of times people think, well, I was staring at his muzzle. Okay, you can see somebody's muzzle and them not be breaking 180. That is 100% a thing that can happen. Now, if that muzzle is no longer an oval and it's more of a circle, now you're looking at a gun pointed in your general direction. And this guy was coming into the position, and this is just my recollection of what I saw. He's coming in, and the gun wandered as he was like, he's looking at the target. He's picking up the target through the wall. And as he's coming into position as a right-handed shooter, the gun swung pretty much not right at me, but slightly off to my left as he was coming into position. And then he comes around the corner, and for a split second, I go, did I see what I just saw? Yeah, I did. And I yelled, stop. And there's nothing wrong with taking that pause to just quick ask yourself, did you see what you think you just saw? I've done that several times, and my brain's answer was yes, that is exactly what you saw. So I stopped him, and the dude wasn't happy. He wasn't pissed. He wasn't throwing a hissy fit or anything, but he was obviously not happy about it. And so called the range master right away. And so Vince comes over and he's got the video, and we actually let him get the video out. I don't know if we're supposed to start the next shooter before the video is done, but he was there. Vince was there as the range master, and they were just handling it. And so we kept moving on with the stage.
Yep.
And the first thing I want to say is I was rooting for him that I was wrong. 100%. I hoped I was wrong. If I could keep him in the match, like if there's video proof that he did not do it, I was 100% on board. I would have not been unhappy. I would have been a little irritated I made the wrong call, but I certainly would have been like, I'm not a timer notcher. As it turned out, the video was evidence of the DQ.
Nice.
So, well, not nice.
Well,
but
it's nice to be correct.
I was relieved that I made the right call. But there was pretty conclusive evidence that he broke the 180, and it wasn't terrible. But like Vince is standing there right where the wall is and looking at the gun, is like, it broke 180. That's what he saw, and the guy was very cool about it afterwards. You know, he shook my hand. He's like, hey, thanks for running a safe match, and wasn't butthurt about it at all. Like handled it in a very classy way. So
that's good.
Good for him. Okay. How far in are we? Oh, it feels like we've been on for a lot longer than we have been. We haven't been on all that long. It's crazy. Yeah. I can finally say
it's fucking Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get a It's Fucking Tuesday t-shirt. Also, new shirt you can get at notanothershootings.com. I forgot to mention earlier, a Try Hard t-shirt. Get your very own Try Hard t-shirt. Notanothershootings.com. You can still get a t-shirt that says
it's fucking Tuesday
as well, but that's not a big seller. But people like shirts, so I put them up there. They don't cost me any money to put them up there. They're paid for as they're printed, so it's fine. Yep. Buy them or don't. I love it that anybody buys one of our goofy shirts. Now, on that note, it is time for a little segment we are calling the top 10 things more useful than gun pumping. Okay, so this is coming up because Steven, who is a bitch, sent me a reel of Lena Michalek, who was talking about when you're running with the rifle. She's got a rifle in her hand. When you're running, and she said gun. When you're running with the gun, you got to pump your arms like that. And she was kind of making fun of people who will run and not really move their arms with the rifle in their hands.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, but she's talking about rifle shooting, and of course Steven's like, it's a gun, isn't it? Steven, he likes him some gun pumping. Gun pumping is theatrical, is not useful for running. So here are the top 10 things that are more useful than gun pumping. Number 1, wear a friendship bracelet.
Oh, I forgot about those.
Number 2, masturbate. It's kind of the same thing. Number 3 thing that is more useful than gun pumping to movement, one of Brett Favre's copper knee wraps.
Oh, Jesus. Those
aren't those dumb?
Those infomercials.
Oh, God, they're great. They're so great. Number 4, shoot with a helmet on. You can mount your camera to it.
Yeah, maybe you have Google glasses.
Yeah, there you go. Number 5, yell, fuck me, over and over and over again.
I do love when he starts yelling at himself.
Yeah. I wish I had a drop of that.
This stage is going poorly.
Number 6, make jazz hands with your weak hand.
Jazz hands.
Yeah. Number 7 thing more useful than gun pumping, take a triple dose of laxative right before the match.
Oh, that'd be motivating for
you want to move
stage.
fast? Nothing will make you move faster than needing to shit really bad. Number 8, grunt as if you actually need to take a laxative. More useful than gun. I listen to the whole grunt thing as being more useful than gun pumping. Like, I think the grunt is a little bit theatrical, but at the same time, like, hey, if it helps you be aggressive, I believe that. Just jerking a pistol off out in front of you is absolute theatrics. Oh, and I just realized I only have 9. I don't actually have 10. So the number 9 thing that is more useful than gun pumping, just swing your arms like you would run without a gun in your hand while pointing the muzzle in a safe direction.
See, that's the complicated part.
What? What's complicated about just running?
So most people's arms go in at an angle when they're running, or else you get a lane style DQ drink when you push that hand out. And so there's the risk that at least an RO may see your support hand in front of the muzzle of your gun if you're running in like a normal fashion.
Okay. Do people have, I know some people have problems with wrists, but like, are you not capable of bending your wrist to run in a point in a direction that keeps it from not DQing you?
Well, it just feels really close. And so it's something that people will have to practice, and it will look sketchy to ROs. And so,
you know who doesn't have a problem with this? Lefties. Because we have to go get screened all the fucking time. That's part of the reason why I think this is like, it's just so aggravating to me. It's not so much that people do it, it's that they defend it as if it's actually a thing, that it actually helps you run. Okay? I played ball sports. I learned how to run before I shot USPSA. And I feel like a lot of the people who do this gun pumping bullshit didn't play a sport. I could be wrong. I'm sure there are some who did play a sport, but like not once was I ever running the bases in baseball and then like just jerked off the air as I was running in a direction. You know?
No, but the gun pump is a modified version of pumping your arms.
No, it's not.
Yes,
it's like you're pushing all the way out to full extension. When would you ever do that running? Ever. It's not even modified. It's just like theatrical. It's like,
because
it's punching.
It's supposed to be replicating the arm motion while keeping the gun past your support hand. That's the intent of it.
Okay.
So I'm a gun pump defender. So
I will attack it until the day I die, as if it were a venereal disease.
I mean, I'm here for it.
I'm the amoxicillin and you're the chlamydia. That's just how it is.
I've for gonorrhea, but okay.
Okay. Is chlamydia a bacteria or is that a virus?
They're both bacteria.
Oh, okay. So the amoxicillin probably works. All right.
Yep.
I'll get off my soapbox now. Let's see. There was a really, 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 really interesting thing that Andrew Keith posted on his Instagram. That's the Armed Threat Solutions guy. We should have him on again because they just had that match, the Southeast Law Enforcement Classic. We got to have him on again. He posted an incredibly interesting thing the other day, and I saw it, and I immediately sent it to Jeff, and he's like, whoa, perfect topic, and it is. Here's what it said. For the USPSA crowd, unloaded starts are kind of useless, and classifiers that look like stages are not classifiers at all, because there's no standard of surface that shooters have to run on, meaning some are on grass, some are on gravel, some are on concrete. Classification is a measure of raw skill, nothing more.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
thoughts, Jeff?
Well, do we want to separate into two topics, or do we want to cover both?
Yeah, the unloaded start thing is less interesting than the rest of it. I think, so
basically, I'll throw the bone to the unloaded starts. I agree with him in general,
but I don't care.
Right.
Like I don't have any strong feelings about unloaded starts. Like it's a thing we do in the sport. It's fine.
Right. It's basically a game. It's a game challenge. As long as you understand that USPSA is a game to be played.
Yeah.
Matches are the game being played, everything else, like we are not trying to replicate real life shootings or so the burglar broke in at 2:47 in the morning, and you have a 1911 and a hand grenade, but the 1911 is unloaded, but you have staged magazines throughout your house, and you're like, no, this is fucking stupid. No, we do it because dumb reasons. But yes, I agree in general. Unloaded starts are a useless skill set, but they're part of the game. Whatever. His classifier thing, I agree with it in general, but we don't do things in perfect conditions every time. So to take his logic to a kind of, the absurd degree, shooting inside in a range that's air conditioned or nice versus shooting it in 120 degree heat in the middle of a gravel pit are two completely different things.
Well, and indoors, that concrete's usually smooth. It's usually worse footing than gravel.
Right, it's worse footing, but if you are shooting one of the stand and shoot classifiers, because like he's mainly talking about classifiers that look like stages, but if we're applying the logic to all classifiers, that because he said classification is a measure of raw skill, if I'm shooting indoors and I haven't been standing out in 100-degree weather all day, I'm probably going to shoot a little bit better than if I was shooting outside and it was shitty, or it's raining, or it's cold, or blah, 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 blah. So I do agree with him. But I also, if classification is a measurement of your skill at this sport, which is what it's supposed to be, a stage is a better representation of what we do in the sport.
Yes. And that's part of when I read this, I 100% agreed with him, and then I 100% disagreed with him, and then I 100% agreed with him, and then I 100% disagree. Like, I can argue this either way,
right?
And believe what I'm saying. I 100% get what he's saying, because they're not really classifiers. Classifiers is sort of the raw skill. It doesn't necessarily translate to matches, but that's why the classifier stages have changed, is so that they do relate to match shooting better. Because It's this hodgepodge, it doesn't really overall translate at all. I mean, you can still hey, if somebody made GM on nothing but classifiers, unless they fucking cheated, they're a pretty good shooter. They're not going to suck. They're not going to be bad at the sport. They're going to beat most people at most clubs,
Yeah. And I think that he's running into two parts to it. One is because of, and I'll say because of Ben and X-Ray Alpha, people have started looking at our sport as a measurement of shooting ability outside of the sport. Like they're using it as a bar of measurement, and that's not what it is. It's a game. We are playing a game.
Yeah,
we acknowledge that. And I think
it is a barometer of skill, though.
Right. But that goes
general. It's not. It's not 100% accurate, but it's generally
right. And that goes to the other part of it. Is that sometimes people get so wrapped up in the test being an accurate representation, and they miss the fact that the test is already an accurate representation. Is that they're like, well, did he shoot 92%, and does that mean he's a 92% of a GM score? Blah 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 blah. And you're like, I don't know, he shot 92% of it. That's the information it gave you.
Well, one thing I thought of today about when you said the percent 92%. Okay, who's to say 95% is actually where the bar is for GM?
Right.
Where should it actually be? Because now the system is completely changed. Should it be a little lower? Should it be a little higher?
Right. And what is 100%? The system has lowered the bar because
no. I don't know. Overall, I think the system has raised the bar overall because they all fucking count. Trust me, I shot a 23% today. They fucking count.
Right. I agree with that, but what I'm saying, again, relating it back to martial arts with a jiu-jitsu black belt. A jiu-jitsu black belt represents a god level of grappling ability. But there are guys who just got their jiu-jitsu black belt and there are guys who are international champions.
Yeah.
And they are not playing the same game.
No.
And so it's hard, like, trying to equivalate, like, skill is so difficult because, yeah, when you start talking about A, master, and GM, you're talking about really weird, like, minutia. Because I shot, 92% of several very good GMs. We can argue that they had a bad day and I had a good day.
Uh-huh.
But does that take away from me or does that take away from them or all we have is that information. I shot 92% at Great Plains. End of equation. And so I think people want a meta rating. They want the NFL or
the quarterback rating.
Yeah, they want the EA Sports this quarterback's an 87.
The overall rating, yeah.
Yeah, this quarterback's an 87, but this quarterback's an 89, and you're like, what the fuck? That's not different.
Michael Vick's a 99.
Right, and you're like, so right, so you just have to fight dogs, and boom, you're great at football. But I think people like you said, being a GM or doing well on that classifier is regardless of the footing. Like you can go back and equivalate or put into context.
That's the second time you've used a made-up word. I love it.
Shut up. You can use the context of the situation to determine, I didn't have my footing because we shot it indoors and the floors were super slippery. And you're like, okay, cool. Like maybe that took 5% from you, but you still can say, hey, like, especially if you have like an Insta360 hat cam, you can go back and look at it and you're like, oh, the shooting was great. It was just the footwork here and here, blah, blah, blah. So again, going back to his original point, I do agree that it does change how those can be shot, but you could say the same thing about shooting it.
It was hot.
It rained, or you're in fucking Georgia and it's 100% humidity.
Yeah, in July.
Right, and the dude in California, with like 30% humidity. You're not shooting the same match, or you're not shooting the same classifier. Like your hands are sweaty and you are dying. They're like, it's a nice day out. I'm enjoying myself. Like, so no, not all tests are going to be 100% the same, but they're the closest we've got to putting people in the same category.
Yeah. I could go either way on it. I can't believe we almost forgot. It's been a hot minute since it happened, though. We got called out by another podcast, or Jeff did mostly.
Let's go.
I kind of did. So Adam Maxwell and Adam Reiser from on the Perf. Reiser's listening to our show on the way back from a match, and he's like, they're both three gunners at heart. Maxwell shoots a lot of USPSA. He's a GM in two divisions, I think, in LO and in single stack, I believe. And when somebody texted me about it, and I'm like, okay, I know Maxwell. I'm pretty sure they weren't pricks. I'm guessing this was in fun, and it was in fun. But they're mostly like think Jeff was completely unreasonable. But did you ever listen to it?
No,
I didn't figure you would. Here's like the TLDR. They offered Jeff a free slot to go shoot multi-gun nationals in July. Jeff, will you accept? This is the thing everybody wants to know. This July.
Hard maybe.
It is a little bit short notice.
Right, and so like
it is. I'm looking it up right now. Oh, I went too far on the calendar.
From what I've been told, they're offering me guns and cover some costs or something or other.
Well, no, basically like the goofy shotgun stuff that you don't own, like the because people are happy to loan gear at matches. So, I mean, if you want to use your rifle, I think I might have a rifle that's slightly better for 3-gun than yours. But
right. So that was my first thought. So I had two thought patterns to this. One, okay, I
have a baller shotgun for you, though.
Right. I would need a new scope. I would need I need a shotgun in general.
Yeah.
And pistol wise, I think I'll be fine. But so that was my first thought. Then there's the travel and the time and all that stuff. Like, I got to go get a hotel for what is essentially a joke. Like, if we're completely honest, like I'm going to go, okay, this match is a little different, but we're also only going to shoot 3 stages a day or 5 stages a day or whatever the number is. So I'm not completely wrong because the logistics of 3 guns is the logistics of 3-gun. You cannot change that fact.
So there were some things they talked about that I was like, okay, I get what they're trying to say, but still disagree. One of them was that the shooting's not hard. And what they used to refute that the shooting wasn't hard was that at one time at a match, there was a 200-yard steel pistol target.
That is unreasonable.
That is the dumbest target I've ever heard of in my life. Just because it's hard doesn't mean
doesn't mean it's good.
Now, what they took it to the extreme, but the last 2 multi-gun nationals were run hit factor, so aiming mattered. When I worked multi-gun nationals 2 years ago, okay, the shooting, the ability to hit any target on the range was not. It wasn't hard. I think what people are referring to mostly when they say the shooting's not hard is the hang to anywhere on paper. When you can spray bullets all over a USPSA target with a pistol, that does not require a high level of accuracy. Not at all. Now, just because there's rifle targets at 600, okay, yeah, that's not easy. That is challenging shooting. When I shot it, they had a 380-yard rifle target. It was the only real long target of that whole match. It was a tough one. It didn't take me a lot of rounds. It was 2 or 3. I think I got it on the second shot. It was either 2 or 3. But generally, when it comes to USPSA nerds like us, and I started out in 3-gun. That was my first sport. So I like 3-gun. I won't shit on it like Jeff will. Part of what they were 100% right about is your perception of 3-gun is 100% colored by how 3-gun is run at your club.
Yes.
That is your only 3-gun experience is the shitty matches at your club.
Technically, I did shoot a rifle. Was it a 2-gun? No, it was a rifle-only match at Ankeny, and I got to experience 3-gun-like stages that were god-awful.
What made them god-awful, though?
So one of them took me 59 seconds to do and required the
with
shooting.
One gun?
Yes. That so not bay 1, but bay 2, kind of their longer bay next to the pond.
Yeah.
You started at at kind of the middle front of that bay. Then you had to run back while engaging targets through ports, run around it was a big T stage. So you had to run to the right, shoot one target. So it felt almost useless to go over there. Then you had to go to left. And on that side, there was a hanging plate on a chain. And then 2, I'm going to call them playing card size targets hanging from a chain.
Oh,
that you
4-inch steel.
Right. That you had to shoot at 50 yards.
Well, there's hard shooting in 3-gun.
Right. You had to shoot off a VTAC barricade. So when you hit one, you had to go to a different level on the VTAC barricade, which I was like, okay, that's fucking pointless. Whatever.
Yeah.
Then you had to run forward to the front of the shooting area and activate a stomp box that was in front of the shooting area and then run back to a shooting box to engage the last 4 targets in the swinger.
And how far away from the shooting box was it?
5 or 10 yards.
Oh, God, that's dumb. Just put it in front of the box. Jesus.
Right. And so, like I said, it took me 59 seconds to do.
Okay.
And then, so at one point, all 4 squads of this match were backed up on this bay.
Yeah.
And someone shot the bolt on the hanging steel, so they had to sit there and repair that. And so we're all just sitting in lawn chairs, like twiddling our thumbs. So yeah, I know I shoot on 3-gun with only one experience, or 2 experience points.
Very limited experience.
But like, it's a mindset, and I don't like. Y'all just have fun doing other shit that I like than I do, I guess. I don't know.
Now, and I'll say they gave me credit for like pushing back on some of the stuff you said on whatever. I think it was episode 123 of our show that they were referencing. I'm going to push back on 2 things they said. The first one is that the reset takes forever. It does. Okay. Adam, when I worked Multi-Gun Nationals in 2023, I was on the range every day for 13 hours. That's a long fucking day to be on the range.
I don't work at my own business for 13 hours.
Like, it was like the sun was setting, when we were leaving the range. Like, it was late. And we were there early. Like, it's a long day. Now, for the shooter, it's half of that. So they're on the range for 5.5, 6 hours, whatever. The last day with the speed shoots was shorter, but the 2 previous days were long as a staff member. They were absolutely long, and it's just as soon as you involve a rifle, everything takes longer. You involve a shotgun, holy fucking shit, is it going to take longer? It's just the nature of the beast. Now, I think they were talking about it takes 10 minutes to reset a stage. From unload and show clear to beep, I'm sure they've got the stats from the match from practice score, but it's probably not 10, but it's probably not as short as 5.
Right.
By the time you get all that done, it makes for one hell of a long day.
Right, and that's if everything's working correctly. So
that's if you don't have malfunctions and reshoots and all that. I said that the match in 2023 was awesome. Like, as a shooter, the match was awesome. I liked it a lot. It was great. This is sort of my perception. Like, when I first shot 3-gun was not even what they said. It wasn't when I started. It was not even the shotgun loading contest that it was prior to 2015. It was even worse prior to quad loading. But every 3-gun match I went to, there would be a 30, 40 round shotgun stage, and shooting the shotgun is fun. I like it, but loading a 12-round tube, emptying it, loading a 12-round tube, emptying it, loading a 12-round tube, emptying it is dumb. It's not fun to do that over and over and over again. It's just not. And I will stand by that 100%. If you like doing that with quad loading, cool. But quad loading is not a skill I care to get great at. I'd rather dry fire with a pistol. And that's really what this comes down to, is just personal preference. Now, the other thing I want to call them out for, and this is bullshit. This was completely taken out of context. They didn't hear what I fucking said. And, Maxwell didn't even hear the episode in question, so he just took Reiser's word for it, was when I said it was hard to shoot stationary targets with a shotgun. Okay. You little fucker. I didn't say it was hard to shoot a stationary target. I said it was hard to learn to shoot a stationary target with a shotgun after shooting flying shit my whole life. My gun didn't want to stop. I was used to just moving by with the shotgun. It was ingrained in my brain. It was trauma from dad going, you gotta swing through. Keep swinging the gun.
Based on my experience, it is a very hard skill for most 3-gunners. I have watched motherfuckers miss with birdshot at 10 yards. I'm like, fucking A, homies.
So anyway, it was out of context. So sometime we'll have Reiser on, and then I'll just make up shit that he said.
Correct. I'm here for all beef. People are like, oh, we don't condone violence. I'm like, I'm here for conflict and violence. Let's go. So I like call me the fuck out. I mean, picking a topic I give literally zero fucks about. Not a strong first throw because yeah, you're probably right. I am going based off of what has been told to me as one of the most toxic club with toxic lots of shit. But I'm not wrong about the logistics of it and how little I want to deal with most of it. Like,
and evidence of that, they spent a whole show on it. We spent like 10 minutes on
it because we efficient.
Well. No, I just wanted to throw a barb at him. Okay, so there, take that, Adams. They're Adam squared. Okay. What is it, Gus, they say? What is it? Or Greg or Gary? Gary, that's what it is. Are you Gary? That means you're like a dork or something, I guess.
Oh. Huh. Oh. Never heard
Are you Adam? Are you totally Adam?
I don't want to be. I do my best not to be Adam. I am Jefe.
No, you're Fej.
I'm Fej or Jeffafa or Jefe.
Okay. So there you go.
Chief.
There's some more fake beef. It's hard to be mad at Robert from the Paracast after he jumped on the last one without any warning whatsoever. God, that was fun.
That was a fun episode.
And I am so proud of the cover art of that episode with the fast orange wipes and the balloon knot. I thought that was genius comedy on my part. Anyway.
Our 5-minute episode.
5-minute episode?
Well, wasn't it 5 minutes and then the Patreon?
Oh, yeah. Because you cut it off early. You did the cut off for me. It was, yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Folks, we do really appreciate it. He is Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson. This is Not Another Shooting Show.